Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be starting up a brand new PSN account, and we're going to not be able to play BR or Showdown. We're obviously not allowed to buy stubs. And then of course the main premise of this video is we have 12 hours of in-game time to build the best team possible. And the goal of this, or rather I guess the idea, is to show that even if you're picking up the game right now in August, you can still create a competitive team in a very short amount of time. But without further ado, let's actually start this video. Also, I should add there is actually an exception for Showdown. We are going to be allowed to play the starter Showdowns because I think your average player that picks up the game can do a starter Showdown, whereas they may not be able to be down by 15 runs and go ahead and get the victory. So that's the premise of this video. That's the idea, and let's go. So I hope I explained everything well enough, or if not perfectly, you kind of get the gist of it. So we got Dansby Swanson as our first silver card. To be honest, he's not going to do too much, but like I said, I appreciate MLB The Show for handing out some stuff for free. Now here's the tutorial. I'm gonna skip through a majority of it because it's pretty boring. We're just playing through a few moments, but we do get a reward for that tutorial, and that's gonna be a gold player pack, a starter pack. We're gonna go ahead and flip it and actually get a gold Brad Hand. I actually like Brad Hand a lot for our free gold player because, as you know, he's a lefty in the pen, and that position, especially handedness, is at a premium, so that's really nice. As you can see here though, we're gonna get into the starter Showdown. I'm a big fan of this Showdown in particular because it is so easy. Like I said, you're only gonna be down 0-4. Assuming you skip, you have a juiced up team, juiced up quirks, and yeah, we went ahead and we got it done. We got Edwin. And now we're going to move on to the most important thing, and that's running through conquest maps and taking all of the hidden rewards. As you can see here, that's what we're doing. We're going through. The shark map is probably the best because there's a bunch of hidden headliners, and we're doing every single pack that we can get without having to play a stronghold game. And the reason why I'm avoiding stronghold games is, well, because my team isn't good. So I don't really want to go in on all-star and lose. So that's why I kind of avoided stronghold games. We will do them later, but we're just gonna take all the free packs that we've gotten here and rip them. I actually ended up taking Robnin and John Franco for the bullpen because, like I said, bullpen is at a premium this year, and really every year in MLB The Show. In our first pack, we start out with a diamond flare, and it ends up being DJ Airhorn, which is not ideal, but it is a diamond flare. We're gonna go ahead and get some gold sunglasses. So the goal of this pack opening is not to have an all diamond team, but it's to have a decently competitive team for these conquest stronghold games, which, as you know, are pretty easy to lose if you're not careful, if you're not paying attention. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get a good team and hopefully increase our odds of winning here. Almost done with the standard packs, not seeing too much at all. We did get Tim LeCastro. You know what's up. Tim LeCastro is the GOAT, but all jokes aside, we really got to focus, and we got to get some nice pulls. Carlos Santana is actually nice out of the ball-in pack. Switch hitting catcher with pop. I like that. And we also got Gio Urshela out of a headliners. I'm going to be honest, I didn't get any headliners. I'm killing the suspense a little bit, but I did not get any of the headliners here, so these are kind of wasted packs, but still, we are getting silvers. Even though we're not going to be able to pull the headliner, we're still getting silvers. We're still getting cards that can fit in onto our team and play through these conquest games. David Price right there is a pretty valuable silver, so that is nice. We also got Colin out there in the bullpen, and this Topps Now pack, I went ahead and I picked up Shane Bieber. and Mike Yastrzemski, because I think those are probably the two best cards. Yastrzemski, obviously, great offense, and Bieber is a great pitcher to have. So we're going to get into our first game against the Kansas City Royals. That's the lineup we got. We only got, I think, 2 diamonds in the starting lineup, Edwin and Yastrzemski, but like I said, we do have an all-silver lineup to compete, so we ended up winning that pretty comfortably. Yastrzemski delivered with the 3-run tank. As you can see, we did actually give up a run, so it is pretty important to have a decent lineup in Conquest. We did get a silver in the post game, but we weren't unfortunately able to get him. But we still get that Elite Ducks pack. That's huge right there. If we can get that Elite round, we are set for the rest of the video. So we're going to go ahead and try to get Tampa and Seattle. Get both of those strongholds right there. And we did end up beating the Rays by a total score of 1-0. Not really the best final line, but we did also see Ohtani, so we're seeing a ton of silvers in these post games. I'm just looking for one of them. We get the Home Run Derby choice pack right there, praying for a rare round. We also end up taking Seattle, and we went ahead and we got that pack just below the Seattle stronghold, because why not? You can see we got Jose Quintana out of the standard. This prospect pack, I ended up picking Sixto Sanchez. A little bit of rotational depth you will 100% take. We get this quarterfinals pack. We're going to go Joey Gallo. Like I said, I hope he doesn't end up on my lineup at the end of this challenge, but for now, it's nice to have a guy with ridiculous pop in the outfield. Now we got the Home Run Derby, and we did not end up hitting on that first Home Run Derby pack, but Giambi is still good. Another one. We got another L on the Home Run Derby. 1 in 4 odds. Not getting lucky. And we were not lucky at all on the Ducks in a Pond pack. So an awful start in terms of choice packs. Hopefully, though, we can turn our luck around a little bit later. So this is the new lineup. We put in Garrett Anderson and Giambi, along with Daniel Murphy, so our lineup is looking a lot better. And as you can see here, I'm just going to fiddle with the lineup. Not ideal, like I said, though. We had 3 packs, and we did not hit the 1 in 4 odds on 3 of those packs. That kind of sucks, but we're going to keep running through conquests here. I'm telling you, the move at the start of this game is to play through a ton of conquest. And as you can see there, we're going to go ahead and get the victory against the Texas Rangers. And we see Miguel Sano in the post game, and we actually get Miguel Sano. So that's going to be decent value out of a post game reward. Another thing I should mention, these are, of course, time-lapsed. If you want to see a timer, that's going to be in the bottom left. I just thought that was useful to know. So you can kind of see what time, where we're at. Also, about 9.5 hours in. The timer is going to switch over to a minutes left counter. I apologize in advance. I couldn't get the timer to work. But we're going to keep ripping these standard packs. Conquest is really a blessing in terms of hidden rewards. If you want to know how to get those hidden rewards or how to see those hidden rewards, JPro Gaming 27, I believe it is, on Twitter, always post these maps hours after they're out. You can see all the hidden rewards, super legit, so you can check them out on Twitter. I might leave his link down below. But we do hit the 1 in 4 odds on the prospect pack. We get the mid round. I'm loving that. We're going to end up taking Forrest Whitley. He's a really good budget pitcher, and if we don't end up getting anybody, you know, we'll take it. But unfortunately, we don't hit the Home Run Derby pack. We're going to get the Todd Frazier. He's going to probably slot in on the bench because we do have 2 great guys on the corner. So the team doesn't look a whole lot different after those packs. The rotation, however, did change. Of course, Forrest Whitley was slotted in there. And an hour and 45 minutes in, we actually have a pretty good team. I would say about 5 or 6 of the positions out of 9 are where I would want them to be. But now we're going to run through another Conquest map. This is the Affinity Gauntlet map, or at least that's what Ramon called it. We're also going to go through this PlayStation Symbols map. As you can see, we're targeting these rewards. We're not actually going to go into Stronghold games yet. I'm just trying to get all the hidden rewards that are on the map, and then we're going to run through and do some Stronghold games. So I don't really know what to call this map, to be completely honest, but yeah, we ran through it, got the standard packs in the middle. I got some more standard packs, some stubs. So these hidden rewards are just super great. I love the hidden rewards in Conquest. They give you a ton of value. As you can see, we got 22 standard packs to rip here. Let's see if we can get a diamond, test our luck. Also, one quick note, this was recorded on Monday and Tuesday of this week. So Manny Machado is not diamond. This is before the roster update was done. So I tried to keep this as recent as possible, but it did end up taking a little bit to get this video out. So if you see some guys that are gold that shouldn't be, or you see some guys that are diamond that shouldn't be, I apologize in advance. I tried to get this video out as fast as possible. But the stub count's already looking really good. We got about 9,000 stubs, and we have yet to sell anything. We do see the diamond flare. It's another audio unlockable, however, and that's a little bit frustrating. We got 2 diamonds, and they're not players. But we move. We keep going here. We've already opened 12 standards. Have yet to see anything really enticing, really good. Another bronze, but of course all of these cards do have value in the market, so these packs are still going to be giving me value, even if I'm not getting those diamond pulls, even if I'm not getting those crazy rare rounds. They will still have value in the market, and I will be able to sell these cards, or I can hold on and keep them, like I might end up doing with some guys that I have pulled so far. We got 3 packs remaining here. Standards, Max Stassi out of that standard pack. We get a silver Dominic Smith. Shout out to that walk-off home run he had against the Yankees yesterday. Man, the Yankees bullpen is struggling, and everybody thought that they had the best bullpen in baseball. Speaking of the devil, we got Luke Voit. Seems to be playing super well for the Yankees. That guy's a legit slugger. And we also got Liam Hendricks, who's going to be a nice add to the bullpen. Speaking of bullpen, I went with Mariano Rivera. Like I said, I'm just going to try to load up on relievers with these packs and try to get as much value as possible. And then we got this classic stadium. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to take Old Texas. So we went ahead and we did complete some Stronghold games and Conquest that I said I was going to complete. We get that Evo in the post-game reward, that evolution program, and of course we also get that prospects set 3 for completing the Atlanta Braves Stronghold. Now we're gonna run through defeat the Cardinals. You see Pedro Strop and Matthew Boyd in the end game screen. We got Fenway Park, however, but I mean, like I said, we're still getting a ton of packs. We get Leroy Garcia as well, getting a ton of silvers out of these post-game rewards. That's super nice. Like I said, any added value I'll take. Now we got prospects pack we're going to hit on the base round. We'll just take Sean Murphy because he is a catcher. So, you know, maybe he'll back up at catcher. And we hit the base round again for Ducks on a Pond. Man, that is painful. I just want to get one rare round. But we'll take Fernando Rodney because, like I said,
wrong.
Bullpen arms are at a premium, and I am still not able to hit a rare round, man. I think that's, what, 6 packs? And we still haven't hit a rare round on Home Run Derby or Ducks in a Pond. I know we got a rare round on Prospects, but not super valuable, not high overall cards. And we got this Evo Players Pack. I'm going to be completely honest, I'm probably not going to do these moments anyway. But we'll just take Dennis Eckersley and be done with it. Like I said, though, I'm really not going to be doing those moments because they take a while. And this is what the lineup looks like. Sean Murphy is going to get slotted in at catcher. So that's really the only upgrade we see in terms of offense. And we did add guys like Fernando Rodney, Mariano Rivera to the pen. So we are making some meaningful changes. But still, the team is looking a little bit rough. Now, we got Jonathan Scope hitting dingers. We're going to go ahead and do these monthly award programs. We're only going to be doing July end June. We're not going to be bothering with April or May. That's just my executive decision. I don't think the shortstops are nearly valuable enough for me to be chasing this entire time. You know, it's fine. I think there's a decent amount of value that you can get through these. But honestly, I wasn't really going to spend all my time on Player of the Month. We are going to go ahead and get this scope moments done. So like I said, we are going to be using exchanges even though they do cost stubs. Time is money when you are on a time limit, of course. So I'd much rather spend about 3,500 stubs as opposed to having to do some online missions. So that was the choice that I made to get these Player of the Months done a little bit quicker. So we're going to go ahead and put in a couple of orders on Altuve. While we have those orders going through, we're going to get started on this Mike Zunino moment string in June, because I want that 97 Cody Bellinger on my team. Mike Zunino, going to go ahead and get a hit. Honestly, I do not like Mike Zunino at all, so I'll probably keep Sean Murphy in at catcher. I really just don't like Zunino. But I did like that. A no doubt shot, perfect off of Taylor Rogers and the Minnesota Twins. That's going to complete that moment right there. Now we're going to go ahead and take that high splitter from Tyler Clippard out the other way. That's going to give us our final hit. That moment, that string of moments took me quite a bit, as you can probably see by the timer. And God bless whoever's playing left field for the Detroit Tigers, because they just made my life a lot easier. I thought for sure that would be a catch. It was not. And we take advantage, get the extra base hit. And up against the ass cheats, Mike Zunino delivers a tank. That thing was crushed. Maybe it's just Seattle, but man, those were some big ol' home runs from Mike Zunino. Now we're going to go ahead and get his exchange done with Yasmani Grandal. Like I said, doing orders on these lower gold cards will hopefully keep it nice and cheap. So hopefully we're not spending a ton of stubs on these exchanges. Speaking of the devil, we're going to go ahead and get this first set of exchanges for Jonathan Scope done. Putting Gleyber Torres as well, seeing as he's not doing too well. He could even get a downgrade. And then we'll put in Jamont Jones. That's going to go ahead and unlock stage 2. We're actually going to do orders ahead of time, though. We're going to put in 3 orders on Justin Turner. This card is a little bit more expensive than Altuve and Grandal, but he is 1 overall higher. So, you know, I'm willing to pay it, because that's going to be the best way to get this one done, other than buying more Grandals. So we're going to go ahead and pay a little bit of a premium. Now we're going to get into these Grandal moments up against Pittsburgh. And that is going to be straight down the line. It is just going to leave that extremely short wall out in far right field of Dodger Stadium. I'm going to go ahead and put the ball up the middle. Tatis makes a fantastic diving play, but the throw is not in time. That will give us a hit, and that will complete that moment. You can see we are 3 hours and 51 minutes into this, very close to being at about a third of the way there. So we got to get our horse on. We got to start going through these Player of the Month moments if we want to have any time at the end to run through and get some other stuff done. So we only have 1 total base remaining in this moment. Let's see if we can get it done right here. Bundy is going to hang the slider. And we're going to take that thing right up the middle. That's going to be our final base needed to complete this moment. Grandal's moments were very difficult, especially extra base hits. And I think this is a perfect example. Look at that, man. Absolutely stung out into the gap. And we just barely beat the throw to second base. Seriously, man. Grandal is like a snail out of the box, man. It's kind of painful, actually, to see him try, and we actually did struggle a decent amount with that, but we are going to go ahead and get the exchange done. Justin Turner's will be gone. We had 3 of them. They're going to go. And now we have to get some center fielders, and thankfully Ramon Laureano is going to exist, so that's very nice. Ramon Laureano will be exchanged for Ramon Laureano. A little bit of Laureanoception right there. Kind of weird to think about, but Laureano's nice and cheap for an 82, so that's really why we did it. I'm not gonna lie, there were a few of these moments that were not a ton of fun, especially in this Laureano string. For whatever reason, that just does get by Polanco and Arise. We are going to get thrown out at second, but it does not matter. We have completed the moment, gotten the last total base necessary. And now in the 7th inning, we are going to go deliver a single out to left field, get the final hit done for that moment of Ramon Laureano's string of moments. And for whatever reason, this one took me forever to do, man. It was so frustrating. I couldn't get it done. Jose Berrios was not throwing me very many strikes, and the few strikes that he did throw, I wasn't hitting. Super frustrating there. Then we go into a little bit of an easier moment, at least for me. I got this one done pretty damn quickly against the Texas Rangers. 2 hits and 1 home run. I can get that done in my sleep. Now we are going to exchange the Laureano to get the Laureano. We're going to put in 3 Ramon Laureanos, 1 Aaron Hicks, and Chris Owings should get the job done there. So that's going to be another exchange done for the player of the month. Now we're going to go ahead and get Ken Giles. I think he is the best value in terms of relievers and Mariners to go ahead and exchange. We are only going to need to put in 2 of him, so I don't mind paying a little bit of a premium. And now we're going to hop back into moments. And as you can see by that timer in the bottom left, we're getting these moments done very quick. That's why I love reliever moments in this game. They take no time at all. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes apiece, but they take very little time. Just super easy to get these done. And we're going to get a 95 reliever out of the deal, along with a 99 overall James Paxton. That is sick. That is so exciting. We're going to get an ace of our rotation. In all likelihood, I probably won't pitch him because he's not very interesting, depending on our rotation at the end. We're going to go ahead and put in to Ken Giles, along with a Darren O'Day and some random bronze. And then there we go. That's it. That's the July monthly awards done. We took a little bit of a hiatus with the June ones, but we'll get back to those very soon. As you can see, Paxton will slot into the rotation, and now we only have 1 more empty rotation slot. I think I can say the bullpen is starting to look good, especially on the right-handed side of things with Rodney and Diaz. Now we finally got the Yasmani Grandal orders in. Those took a second to get in. And we're going to go ahead and exchange a bunch of other bronzes and commons. And there we go. We are going to be moving on to stage 2 of the June monthly awards. But first, as always, we're going to get some players to go ahead and exchange. And Yuli Gurriel was the player to get. Like I said, the Astros have been struggling pretty mightily. So a lot of the Astros are super cheap. And so we were able to put in a few orders for Yuli. And now we're going to move on to these Jesus Aguilar moments. Aguilar is actually going to be potentially a nice guy to have off of the bench. Like I said, our corners are kind of locked, so the likelihood that he plays for us is pretty small. But nevertheless, man, this card is still really good, especially as a bench bat against left-handed pitchers. But the one problem is he plays a super heavily contested position, especially with all of these home run derby cards. There's not a ton of need to go out and get another first baseman. But, I mean, Aguilar just hits tanks. What can I say? No doubt shot. And that's going to go ahead and move on. Another no doubt shot. This time off of Sir Anthony Dominguez. Aguilar is just hitting tanks right now. As you can see the timer, though, we're at 5 hours and 48 minutes. So we are starting to creep up there in terms of the time. Almost halfway done with our allotted time. I'm going to go ahead and do that one. That was a multi-game, and that one was actually a little bit difficult. We're going to go ahead and exchange. We have a ton of extra silvers to get rid of. Dominic Smith, Hanley Ramirez, Eric Sogard, along with Christian Walker. And then we'll go ahead and get Josh Lindholm. And then finally, a random common. And that's going to go ahead give us that exchange, we'll go ahead and take Jesus Aguilar. But mostly at this point, we're just going to move on. Like I said, Aguilar will have a spot on our bench for the time being. This is what the lineup looks like. We filled a lot of gaps with Player of the Month cards. Now, I still want to keep going, get a few better players, especially at shortstop. I'm not really loving Jonathan Scope, especially as a fielder. He's really suspect. So hopefully we can find a better shortstop that doesn't go by the name Carlos Correa or Didi Gregorius, because I 100% could get those cards. But like I said, the commitment in terms of hours isn't really worth it to me at this point. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the starting pitchers that we are going to need to exchange for this. And ultimately, I decided on Noah Syndergaard. He was actually pretty cheap because, as you know, his season is over. He has no hopes of going up or down. So we're going to have to go ahead and redo these orders. We did not get any Noah Syndergaards, so we're going to have to go in and redo them. As you can see, though, we only have 8,000 stubs, so we really don't have very much stubs at all. But then again, we haven't really been able to sell anything because almost everything we've been getting has been going into our lineups and or exchanges. Speaking of exchanges, we are actually going to get an order through on Noah Syndergaard. And yeah, let's hop back into some more moments. So we're starting these Chase Anderson moments up against the Mets. Honestly, these weren't too bad because you could give up a decent amount of runs. We're going to go ahead and get that one by barely right there. That was a fly ball to the warning track. And what do you know? Ketel Marte with a 2-run bomb. Thankfully, it was only the first, but still not what you want to see at all. This time, though, second attempt, we do get it done. Cole Calhoun is going to fly out there. And that's going to give us our 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, and we completed the moments. Another one done right there, 7 batters. Didn't take that long at all. So we're going to exchange a few of our Thors along with some other random starting pitchers. I was going to put in some Silvers, but then I remembered I had David Price, and David Price is worth a lot more than both of those Silvers combined in terms of exchange value. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of Danny Duffy. That's going to go ahead and round out the starting pitchers part of the exchange. Now, we just need to buy a few Giancarlo Stantons, kind of the same gist as Ken Giles, just trying to get as much value as possible. And these DJ LeMahieu moments were not fun. Let me just say that. You can already see, man. It was about a 15-minute jump cut there. Struggled mightily with this first set of moments. I think I had one at bat to get one hit, and I failed. The second set of moments we did get done. Thank goodness, because there was a ton of multi-game moments in DJ LeMahieu's set. Honestly, man, brutal. Kind of forgot how difficult some of these could be if you weren't getting lucky or you weren't scoring stuff up. Man, that was rough. We did get that third hit in the 3 hits moment, and that just does get over the wall. That's going to be all of the total bases that we need. And then this last moment here up against the Boston Red Sox, it does just get out. I honestly thought that was going to go out into triples alley, and that was going to be a little bit painful for me. But we did get DJ LeMahieu done, 92 overall DJ. Now we can exchange our Giancarlos. We can exchange some other guys we had sitting on the bench, like Miguel Andujar, and boom, we got Cody Bellinger. Now we got a ton of standard packs from these Player of the Month programs, and yeah, I'm just gonna zip through these. There's a reason why these are sped up, and that's because I didn't pull anything. We did get a few decently high overall golds, but really nothing of interest in these standard packs. Honestly, a little bit frustrating, man. We've opened a ton of standard packs now. I think it's almost 75, at least that's what it feels like, and we have not gotten a diamond yet, so we are playing the odds mightily here. Hopefully, though, by the end of this video, we will go ahead and get a diamond pull. We got Mike Soroka right there. That was an easy quick sell. And then, like I said, Yu Darvish. This is back when he was gold. So we're just going to run through these, and they are not that interesting. We did get a few decent gold pulls. Castillo's pretty nice. Of course, Yu Darvish is really expensive because he was about to go diamond. And we get a double silver pack right there. We got both of the gatekeepers for the Orioles Live Series collection, Trey Mancini and Michael Givens. Actually, I suppose Iglesias would be now because, yeah, he's a little bit higher of an overall now. He's officially a gold. So I'm just going through and selling everything. We had a ton of standard packs, which means we pulled a ton of cards. No diamonds, but we do have a ton of sellable cards that we can get rid of. And we're just getting rid of everything here at the 7-hour and 14-minute mark. We're trying to get rid of as much of these as possible. I do not need these cards. We're just going to quick sell Voit and Urshela because they pretty much just go for a quick sell value. And man, we are just cruising here, basically selling everything that isn't common. And then at the end, I do check for some valuable commons because there are valuable commons that exist. But we're running through, and honestly, I should explain a few more things. I do apologize for the timer switching over. At about 9 hours and 15 minutes, I think it is, the timer will switch over and it will go from the timer that you see in the bottom left to a minutes left timer, X minutes left. That is my fault. I just could not get the timer working. Luckily, Luis Robert was basically the price of a gold. I think people thought he was going to go up, even though, to be completely honest, statistically, he's not having the best season. It's certainly good, but it is not good enough, in my opinion, for him to go gold. You're going to go ahead and sell Danny Santana. Jonathan Scope here. We'll get rid of him for $389. That's a great price. Spencer there will go. Like I said, this is like a garage sale, man. I'm just getting rid of everything here. Not really on a discount, but I'm just getting rid of everything. We're liquidating the floor here. We don't want anything left. And even though some of these bronzes only go for about 100 stubs, you know, having 15 or 20 of those on the market is really going to add up. So, in my opinion, it is worth it. It did take a decent amount of time. I did end up selling Liam Hendricks, even though it goes for a decent amount, because he was still in my bullpen at the time. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and time-lapse with the rest of these orders. Now we are going to get into the Nelson Cruz moments. Of course, this is for his player program. I believe it's Silver Slugger. And of course, the famous walk-off, and that is a tank from Nelson Cruz. That thing was destroyed. It's going to be a walk-off grand slam for Nelson Cruz. Honestly, I had a ton of fun with these moments. Of course, this was from his one-year stint in Baltimore. And that's going to be the extra base hit that we need in the gap. We are just going to get in under the tag of Nico Goodrum. And that's going to be that multi-game moment done. It's nice to get those done pretty early. This ball is just going to get off the wall. We're going to cruise in to second there and get that moment done. That one was pretty easy. Only 2 extra base hits in a game. Now we got to do a little bit more here. And that's going to be another ball the other way. Another extra base hit. And that's going to get yet another moment done. Now we got this last one up against Kansas City. And we take Danny Duffy deep. That is it. That's going to be the last moment in the Nelson Cruz program. And now we're going to go ahead and do moments for the John Lester program. I think both of these are 100% worth it. Nelson Cruz is at the very least a great bench bat, but I think you could argue to put this guy in your starting lineup potentially in right field. The fielding is terrible, but the hitting, in my opinion, more than makes up for it. This is just a clip showing you how many orders I have going through in the market. We're going to keep up with these John Lester moments. John Lester is one of the cheaper pitchers that has a sinker cutter. Now, he doesn't have a slider like Al Leiter might, but he's really good because he's got decent control and sinker cutter, which for whatever reason is the best pitch combo in the game. So nice to see with Lester. And we're going to go ahead and get these play versus CPU games. So I could see the argument to potentially go online in events and try to get it. But there wasn't an event going on that included Nelson Cruz or John Lester. Actually, never mind. The event did include John Lester because it was, I think, a signature event. But even then, I didn't go ahead and do that. I went with a little bit of the easier route, and I just play a few games against the CPU. I don't mind it. We are now at the 9 hours and 9 minute mark. So this is right about when the timer should flip over. For the last time, I apologize for that. Cody Bellinger, though, 2 hits, absolutely a beast. We actually almost lost that in the end. That's why I had to bring out Edwin Diaz. We didn't get a great endgame reward, but you don't always. And we're going to get that program John Lester right there. That card looks really nice. He is going to go straight into the rotation, and now we have officially an all-diamond rotation. That is really nice looking right there. We're going to have Lester as the ace for the time being, but I kept using Shane Bieber for these games against the CPU because honestly, I think he is one of the better ones. His delivery is really quick in comparison. Gets the ball there pretty frequently, and I mean, I walk guys anyway, so it doesn't really matter their delivery, but goodness, that is a tank from Cody Bellinger, pretty much out to dead center field against Taijuan Walker. Absolutely destroyed that baseball. And then we got Edwin going the opposite way. I haven't shown a whole lot of highlights of Edwin Encarnacion, but that's not because he hasn't been destroying baseballs. That is crushed right there to the opposite field. And Edwin is going to step in and get the save against Dom T. Williams. That's going to go ahead and end it for the Mariners. And now we're going to get Nelson Cruz. So at this point, I don't have a whole lot to do. Now, there is a few things I could do, but I've kind of gotten everything that I thought I was going to get done. So we are going to put in an order on Andrew McCutchen. In my opinion, one of the best budget outfielders, especially for his price, man. This guy's ridiculous. We're going to step into these tops now moments, the most recent tops now moments, and we're going to go ahead and get him done. That first one is going to be a success. That one was really easy. And this one, this Austin Hayes moment against the Phillies, also pretty easy. And now we're going to go ahead and get Spencer Howard, another great budget guy. I love this guy on my main squad, so you know I had to go ahead and get him on this team. We are going to start selling some cards as well. Dave Parker is a guy that I really don't need, so we'll sell him. And now we have a time lapse of collections. I highly recommend you do this if you're looking for some extra stubs, some extra XP. Some of these collections are super easy to do, and they're going to get you some extra packs, some extra XP, just really easy. The outfielders right here, I'm pretty much just exchanging commons that have no value, and I'm not even exchanging them. They are still in my collection, but they don't really have value, and I'm basically turning these into value. We even had a few unlockables. I didn't end up doing that though. And that's about where I stop with the starter collections. Going into tops now, I really can't do too much there. But I can even lock in for these prestige programs. And even though I'm not actually going to prestige these guys, I still get a free 1,000 stubs for cards that I can't sell anyway. We can go ahead and lock that in. These are some of the trophy ones. Pretty easy to lock in there, and we'll go ahead and get some stubs. I'm not even close to the 30 gold players, so I didn't bother. Maybe if I focus a little bit more on collections. But we did have 10 monthly awards cards, so that's going to go ahead and give us more stubs. We had some lightning cards. That's going to give us stubs. And yeah, man, we also got some signature cards. We can lock in Edwin and Lester. That's going to give us a ballin' pack and some more stubs. We're going to go ahead and lock in Fernando Rodney. The reason why I did that, I'm actually not going to get rid of him. So I'm only locking in as well, like 7,000 stubs. So it is whatever. So we're also going to put in an order on Zach Greinke. Greinke and McCutchen are two amazing cards that you can get for pretty much 15K on the market. Absolutely a bargain and a worthwhile bargain. As you can see, we put Spencer Howard in the rotation. And now we're just going to sell some of these earlier diamonds that I didn't really have a lot of need to keep around. And this is like the best bang for your buck as a reliever. This live series of Aroldis Chapman at 5 to 6K is absolutely a steal. We're also going to put in Josh Hader, who's not nearly as good, but he is a lefty that we need. So we'll take it, and boom. Clint Frazier moment got done. This one was pretty easy. All you had to do was hit a home run with Clint Frazier. It didn't take very long at all because, man, that guy has some juiced power stats. We went ahead and we got that Thomas Nito, I believe is how you say it, moment done. I'm showing the clip of that right there. Now, Jordan Alvarez absolutely uncorks on that high and away fastball. That is going to be the home run. And before we do the Bo Bichette moment, the final moment of that string, let's just go ahead and put Mr. Aroldis Chapman in the bullpen because his order did go through. Now we're going to go ahead and do this Bo Flows moment. It is a multi-game, but it's not very difficult. I was able to get it done well before the allotted time of games. I think you just need an extra base hit and an RBI every game for 7 games. That's really not difficult. Especially because the moment is on a very low difficulty, so I did not struggle with it at all. Waiting for the pitch from Austin Bryce. It's going to be a low fastball. We're going to go ahead and take it the other way. That's going to be an easy extra base hit for Bo Bichette. We're going to go ahead and get that moment done. We've now earned ourselves a Tops Now pack, which is going to be super useful because that's going to save us about 20,000 to 30,000 stubs on Bo Bichette, because I was going to buy him anyway. I think even some God Squads honestly run Bo Bichette. That's how good that card is, man. 98 overall shortstop. that can absolutely rake. Has a really nasty swing. If you remember his finest card from last year, that thing played amazing. We're going to rip these ballin' packs as well that we got from collections. Out of the ballin' pack, we get a Diamond Flash. Man, I was not expecting that at all. These packs have been terrible for me this year. We got an American League starting pitcher. This could be a few different guys, but let's see who it is.
What?
And we just got Justin Verlander out of a Ballin' is a Habit pack. I was complaining about the luck on this account, and finally we cash in Justin Verlander, 90 overall live series card. That's so sick, dude, because he goes for almost 150,000 stubs on the market. That's crazy. We also get double golds there out of the last Ballin' is a Habit pack. And man, if you think about it, I just collected some cards that were already non-sellable anyway, and I just got a Justin Verlander from it. Now, I did get very lucky, but hey, man, we'll take it. We also got Bo Bichette. That's kind of the obvious one. He's by far the most expensive. I'm going to keep him, however, for my lineup, and I was honestly struggling with who to go with here. I think all these cards are going to be great, but I ended up taking Austin Hayes and Yordan Alvarez. These cards might not stay on the team, might not stay on the lineup, but you know, the first thing I'm going to do is put in Bo Bichette into the shortstop position, and now the lineup is looking really good. And it's also nice to know now that we have Justin Verlander, we can play around a little bit with the market. We can go ahead and buy some cards that otherwise I might have been a little hesitant to go out and get. So we're definitely going to be looking for a new catcher. I do not like Yasmani Grandal. We're also going to look to, of course, replace Edwin. Edwin is not super great for me at third base, so we're going to look to replace him. We're going to get another selling montage. Man, that's really what it is, man. It takes a minute to sell all of these cards, but we are getting rid of them. Liam Hendricks is finally going to exit the building, and I am going to try to sell Justin Verlander. It's kind of difficult to sell him now, so we did struggle in that sense to get rid of Justin Verlander. A little bit of foreshadowing, but we're just going to go through and sell everything. Now we're going to go ahead and put in some orders. We're going to get Sergio Romo for $13K. Absolutely a steal, man. This guy's stuff is electric. We're going to try again for Zach Greinke. Hopefully somebody sells him to us this time. Look at the pen. It's getting better. We just got Romo. Now we have three pretty reliable righties in Romo, Rodney, and Diaz. And there we go, Zach Greinke. We got the order through. The rotation now is looking fantastic. We got Paxton, Greinke, Bieber, Howard, and Lester. Those are 5 great starters. Well, I wouldn't call Bieber great, but he's pretty good. Actually, I wouldn't call really any of those guys great, but they're all good, and that is the important part here. We also went ahead and put in an order on Jim Thome. I actually haven't really used Jim Thome this year. I know I probably should have, but the day that Stage 3 dropped, I actually sold him pretty much instantly. So really haven't had an opportunity to use Jim Thome. And now we're going to get into a little bit of a conquest game. The team is looking really nice now with Yasmani Grandal and Edwin really being our only holes, because keep in mind we will get Jason Giambi off of the team after Jim Thome goes ahead and enters the building. Speaking of Jason Giambi, trying to plead his case, I should say, to stay in this lineup with the 2-run no doubt shot, but fortunately it is not going to be enough. We are not going to keep him around, at least in the starting lineup. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get through some more of these conquest games. Thome will replace Jason Giambi, but hey man, some of these ones that I really wasn't going to go after earlier, now that I have some extra time, I am more than willing to. And we got 10 standard packs. We're going to test our luck. We still have yet to pull a diamond from standard packs. Really hoping that that can change in the very near future. Let me go ahead and get nothing out of that one. Man, my standard luck has been rough on this account. We do get a gold equipment item. I figured I'll just sell those because there's no way I'm going to remember to in the near future. And are you kidding me? Pablo Sandoval out of a standard pack. I have never seen a headliner be pulled from a standard pack before, especially not an old headliner. I don't even know what the odds are to pull Pablo Sandoval. That is ridiculous. And that is the solution that we were looking for at catcher. You cannot make this up, folks. Finally, our first diamond out of a standard pack, and it's a good one. Speaking of diamond, we just got another one. This 10-pack bundle paying out, man. 2 diamonds. It's going to be an American League second baseman, and we kind of know who this is going to be. It's going to be Whit Merrifield. Really not what you're looking for at all, but hey, man, we'll take it. He does have quick sell value, so we'll take 5K, 100%. 2 diamonds out of a single 10-pack bundle. Absolute steal. And man, player conquest. The luck on this account, though, is turning around. You'd love to see it. And now we have a ton of stubs to play with once we sell Verlander. Pablo will be inserted right into the catcher position. Sean Murphy will no longer be needed on the bench, and so we can go ahead and sell him for some profit. You can see, though, this timer is slowly but surely creeping down. We got 42 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and put in an order for Rob Nen. 31 minutes left. Rob Nen's order is completed. At this point, I'm pretty much just waiting for orders in the market. It's kind of boring, but it's really what I have to do to ensure that this team gets built in time. Looking at the rotation in the bullpen, it looks really good. We got Tyler Alexander in there to fill in that last left-handed spot. And with about 30 minutes left, I did what I really didn't want to do, and that was to sell Justin Verlander. I really did not want to do that, if I'm going to be completely honest. That was such an L in my opinion. But I had to do it. I know I wasted stubs, but I have to get Justin Verlander sold. Now we're going to play one more conquest game to get a prospects pack up against the Miami Marlins. And boy, does this team look really good. We do get a comment out of the post game, but more importantly, we're going to go ahead and get that prospect pack. So hopefully we can hit a rare round, sell them, and then we'll have even more money. We actually do hit the rare round. That is pretty nice to see. I wasn't expecting that. So now we're going to go ahead and put in orders for Kike Hernandez. And I am such an idiot. I meant to put in a buy order for Trevor Story, and I accidentally just bought him now. I'm so stupid. I paid an extra 10,000 subs for no reason. We're going to go ahead. I'm starting to freak out with 8 minutes left. We're going to go ahead and put in an order for Dylan Carlson. That order does go through pretty quickly, so that is nice to see. And now we're just going to go ahead and sell Michael Kopech right now. We're also going to go ahead and sell Austin Hayes right now. And now with 5 minutes left, we're going to go ahead and buy AJ Burnett. Get rid of Shane Bieber because really he's not super good. We are going to actually keep him around, however, as a 6th man in the rotation. And yeah, man, now we're going to go ahead. We're going to do something a little bit sad here. We are going to go ahead and take out Edwin. He was there from the start, but he's going to end up on the bench. So with 2 minutes left, we're just figuring out the lineup. Like I said, Shane Bieber, I'm going to keep him around as a 6th man in the rotation, especially with these sub changes. It's becoming more and more imminent now that you have a 6th starter that you can go to just in case. The lineup's looking really, really, really good. Carlson and Story were just kind of extras. I wasn't really expecting to have these guys at all in the lineup, so that's awesome. But we do have Nelson Cruz in the outfield. It's a little bit of a liability, but I'm hoping the ball doesn't go to him at all because he will struggle mightily. So you can see with 1 minute left, we have our final minute. Just trying to build the lineup, make sure the lineup looks as good as possible. As you can see, though, we're starting to work out the lineup and the bench. The bench is going to go ahead and consist of 2 lefties, 2 righties, and a switch hitter. That switch hitter does happen to be Yasmani Grandal in at catcher. But we went ahead and we put in Kike Hernandez. I really love this card because he has so many different places that he can go on defense, plus he's super cheap, and of course he does have 99 and 100 stats against lefties. So I did end up keeping Yastrzemski, even though Jordan is a little bit better of a bat on the bench. His fielding is a huge liability, so I would much rather have Michael Yastrzemski back there with his 85 fielding. So this is what the lineup ends up looking like. This is what the team looks like, I should say. And now we're gonna go ahead and quickly zoom through the uniform creating process. I did want to make some threads, and this was, by the way, not counted in the 12 hours. I didn't make any changes to the lineup after that, but like I said, I figured I'd go ahead and make some dope ass uniforms for the lineup. We went ahead with this sort of flashback Atlanta Braves look. I really like the way that these uniforms are. Also, ignore the first part of this video. I did not really know that you could do a 2-color piece on uniforms, so I apologize for how bad it looks right now, but I did learn that a little bit later. So for now, you're just gonna have to deal with those top part of the shirt looking a little bit weird. As you can see, I went in and changed it. I really like the way these uniforms look, and man, they just look so good. I figured I had to run with the PSN, and I had to go Acuna Fan Club. But yeah, I'll just leave you guys with the time lapse and some music. I'll be back in a few seconds. Now, as you can see, we're going to go ahead and go over to the community market. I figured I'd show the team off real quick, but I'm going to show all of these orders that I have completed. 11 pages of completed orders. You can see here, we did end up selling Verlander, and yeah, hopefully this makes a little bit of sense. Like I said, this was not recorded at 12 hours at one sitting. This was 2 days of 6 hours of playing. I don't know that I could do 12 hours in one sitting, but there we go. That is it. And then I went ahead and I figured I'd show my play time in the universal profile. For whatever reason, it says 10 hours and 4 minutes. I think that has to do with loading screens. I think it doesn't factor in loading screens to your total play time. Not entirely sure. It might also not factor in the menus. Those are kind of my two theories. I have no idea. If you know, please leave it down in the comments. But I played 12 hours. I was timing it on my phone. I know it was 12 hours. So it is what it is. I'd rather have it be underestimating than overestimating, though. And now we're going to hop into some games. Super frustrating that my mic did not record. I had a live mic ready, and it was recording. I guess I just didn't fully plug it in, or it didn't pick up. I don't know. Super frustrating, though. AJ Burnett is going to go on the bump, and I should preface this by saying, man, some of these games I got were not very good at all. I mean, like, I seriously overmatched some of my opponents. Kind of crazy that happened, except it really isn't, because I'm playing in spring training. So it does make a little bit of sense, but still, it took me a minute to find a decent game. So the first few, I'll just kind of show a few highlights, but most of these were not really the one in that sense. So let's just get into the games. As you can see, this guy's lineup is not very good at all. He has pre-order Aaron Judge, rookie Babe Ruth, Jorge Polanco. I don't know what this guy's doing at this point. I really don't understand how people can have such terrible teams. I guess they just don't play the mode at all. But seriously, man, you saw me. I ran through Conquest and I got a ton of diamonds. I don't understand. This guy's 1-7. We have yet to play our first ranked game. Well, I guess this is our first ranked game. And like I said, I'm going to show a few highlights, but I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these games because they weren't super interesting. Obviously, my team is way overmatched versus this guy, and considering his record, I'm probably also better than him as a player, so I didn't really want to spend a ton of time here. But with a runner on second here, we do get the high curveball, and his first baseman just makes a Gold Glove caliber play, man. That was crazy. I think that was Eric Thames there making that play. That was ridiculous. But as a pitcher, man, we were clicking with AJ Burnett. Maybe it's just because we are in lower difficulties, but man, I was having a lot of success with AJ Burnett. And speaking of success, Trevor Story launches that ball off the foul pole. That thing was crushed. Now, it was off a silver Babe Ruth, so withhold your judgment, but what a beast Trevor Story is. Now, Pablo Sandoval going to take that ball up the middle. We're going to go home. Bo Bichette is going to go to third. And as you can see, when he was kind of hesitating there, I kind of knew what was going to happen. I kind of knew what was up. My guy was out of there. Even though we did have the pitcher spot up, we tried for the friendly quit.
Boom.
I decided not to take it. And yeah, another weak team. This guy's a bronze Bob Feller. At least he has 2 golds in his lineup instead of 1. But seriously, man, this is crazy. This guy's a common in his starting lineup in August. I just don't get it. This guy's also 1-10, so not a very good record. I guess this is what you get when you play in the deep depths of these seasons. Wow. Speaking of depth, Nelson Cruz went down to get that slider. That thing was crushed all the way out to left field. Like I said, withhold judgment because it is on a bronze pitcher. But there we go. Dylan Carlson is going to hit the ball into the outfield. And yeah, this guy makes a pretty poor attempt at a dive. We're going to go ahead and send Trevor Story home. Carlson is going to head into third. And now we are really starting to threaten here up against Bob Feller. And this guy's had enough. He is out of here. Like I said, I'm kind of skipping through these games pretty quickly because they're not very interesting at all. I should 100% win every single one of these games. And, I mean, when you are such a high overall team in comparison to your opponent, it's very difficult for them to even compete. And here we go. We are going up against the Baltimore Spiders. This guy's team is the first team we are playing with a diamond. This is very exciting. I also has that pre-order judge. But yeah, Tyler did not stick around here. He was out pretty quickly. He did have a 2-4 record. And I am showing you this with no cuts for a reason. When I say this man was out of here quickly, I mean it, man. He was just sitting here in the menus and waiting for Tyler to get back to his PlayStation. Now he is at his PlayStation. Gonna go ahead and throw a pitch to Andrew McCutchen. We foul it off. And that's all this guy had in the tank. He did not want to play me. I get it. I have a really good team in comparison. Now we are playing a much more competitive team. This guy has a ton of golds in his lineup, along with a diamond, Greg Maddux. I should also preface this game by saying the connection was really dodgy the entire time. So somebody had bad Wi-Fi. I don't know if it was me. I don't know if it was him. He does have a 2-3 record. I'm going to show a little bit more of this game because this was mildly competitive. Andrew McCutchen going to go ahead and on the first pitch of the game take that ball out into right field. The shift ends up not working out for my opponent. We're going to go ahead and cruise into third base. Now we got Cody Bellinger up to the dish up against Greg Maddux. And the first pitch, we're going to go ahead and swing at the four-seamer. We miss it, but we do score Andrew McCutchen from third base. That's a decent concession right there. Speaking of Trevor Story, that is a rip up the middle for Story. You can't hit that any better. Absolutely crushed. And now we got Bo Bichette. He's going to take another one up the middle. That one was also destroyed. And yeah, we got picked trying to get to second base. As you can see, the connection very dodgy. I was not expecting him to hit the cutoff man, in all honesty. And this 2-run home run from Pablo Sandoval could have been a 3-run shot, but nevertheless, still going to help out the lead a lot. Now, we're going to go ahead and show some pitching highlights right there. There's John Lester going to go ahead and punch out the left-handed batter. Going to go ahead, get Gleyber Torres to miss at the low changeup. And McCutchen back in the box also takes the ball the other way again. I actually felt bad for this guy. Clearly he didn't mean to dive, so I went back to first base there. Didn't really want to BM this guy, especially if he didn't mean to do it, and it didn't matter. This guy was out of the game. So let's try to get into one good game. And the good news is we actually did find a pretty good game here. I think this is our first game in regular season, which is also pretty exciting. And look at this guy's lineup. He has all high diamonds. I am so excited to finally find a guy that at least has a decent team at this point in the year. This guy's got Gardner, Lofton, Mattingly, Travis Shaw. He has a ton of lefties on his team, so I am kind of wishing that I had gone with James Paxton. But you know what? Greinke gets the start. Anyway, this guy is 4-0, so the record and team are looking good here. We're looking for a really competitive game. See John Lester going to go with the sinker down and away. We're going to go ahead and take it the other way with the Andrew McCutchen. This guy just seems to beat the shift every single time he's up to the dish. We're going to go ahead and take with Cody Bellinger. We'll take ball 4. And now we're going to go the other way with Jim Thome. Thank goodness he didn't throw to second because he probably had a double play, in all honesty. And we choke the opportunity with 2 runners in scoring position. Now, Trevor Story, however, is going to fly out, and that's going to blow our opportunity for the first inning. Bo Bichette going to rip the ball the other way. I thought his first baseman had it, in all honesty, but was not able to corral it, so we'll take the base knock from Bo Bichette. The thing was ripped off the bat. Zach Greinke now looking to hit with the pitcher. Greinke's got a little bit of hitting stats. And boom! Zach Greinke delivers a no-doubt shot. The pitcher proving that he still has some value hitting in the majors. That thing was crushed. Let's see a replay right here. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Zach Greinke goes yard with the no-doubt shot as well off of signature John Lester. That was crazy. And Greinke gonna help himself out with some insurance. Speaking of insurance, Andrew McCutchen delivers a no-doubt shot off of John Lester. Andrew McCutchen is raking for this team. In steps the hit, and Posada is going to go ahead and whiff on the high fastball. We're going to go ahead and throw the curveball right down the middle. I was a little bit scared there, but we did go ahead and get the K. Speaking of curveballs, Jim Thome does not miss that one. A high curveball is not going to work. Jim Thome with a lefty on lefty crime. Trevor Story with the absolute rip up the middle. Unfortunately, a center fielder does catch it, and that's going to be all she wrote for that inning. Dylan Carlson gets on top of the sinker, but thankfully it does go through the middle of the infield, and we're going to go ahead and get a hit. Bo Bichette with another baseball absolutely destroyed. That is going to get far enough into the gap. We're going to go ahead and take second and third. And now Pablo steps up and adds to the lead. Back-to-back home run games for Pablo Sandoval. Absolutely crushing. And that is going to be all she wrote for my opponent. I think we have proved that you can create a competitive team in only 12 hours. If you did enjoy this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. Also, a subscription to the channel if you enjoyed this video. This took a while to make, so I really would appreciate any support that I could get. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'm out. Peace.